Hello everyone, this is Mark Blazer, your Chem 11 instructor, and this is a short video to welcome you to Chem 11 and to introduce you to what you need to do the first week to get started in this course on the right foot. So please pay attention for the next few minutes while I point out a few things about the course and about the lab simulation. And a note, we are fully online, and so we're going to have to be doing things a little differently than we normally would if we met face-to-face in a traditional lab setting where students work with actual lab equipment and real chemicals. So we're going to try to provide as good a learning experience as we can under the pandemic circumstances. So welcome to Chem 11, and here's some information, hopefully get you off on the right foot. Okay, so first, here is a quick look at the course in Canvas, and just a couple things to note. On the home page, there's a link to the Chem 11 syllabus. There is a note that we're going to be using modules to access the instructions and information and assignments. And then I have my office hours and Zoom links indicated here. So if you have questions, these are times I'm officially available via Zoom every week, and you have the link you can get to. Within the modules, Module 0 is just some introductory information, and it's pretty straightforward. You just work your way through, read the information, go to the next page. This is also a link to my syllabus, so that's something you can access several ways, and then you keep on working your way through. A quick note, if you have already taken courses in Canvas, there's some repetitive information about how to get Canvas help and that sort of thing. If you've already gone through this and you understand and you're able to deal with Canvas well, you can skip past this quickly. If you're new to Canvas, please go through this in detail to make sure you know how things work. So this first unit is just some expectations and some tutorials and background information, including a little bit about me. And then the first week, every week there'll be an assignment. It'll be a lab. And the first week's lab is in Module 1, Week 1. And the same kind of thing, you click on the module, gives you a little bit of instructions about what to do. Right now I have things set to be due at 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday of each week. That can be changed if that's not convenient for folks, but I just want kind of like a weekly date. And we will be, because we're online, not in person, doing a bunch of lab simulations rather than actual physical labs, which we'd normally do if we met in person. And so the main task that's really course related for the first week is to do the first online or virtual lab, and we're going to be using a program or a platform called Labster. Quite a bit. We may do some other labs as well, and this will be an introduction to both Labster program and lab safety. And what will happen, you can actually access these from the assignments as well, but what will happen is there's a little bit of background about Lab 1, Introduction to Labster and Lab Safety. You click on the Load Lab link. And one of the main reasons for this video is I want to point out a few things. One is, and it says this in Labster, but you really need to use Chrome or Firefox for your browser. So not Safari, not anything else. You need to use Chrome or Firefox. It does take a little bit of time to load. And make sure you have a computer that can handle this. You can't do this on a cell phone or mobile device. You actually need a real computer. And then you click Start once it's ready to go.
Welcome to the lab safety simulation. I am Dr. 1.
And you'll get some instructions. And there's what's called a lab pad, which has written instructions. You click on Continue. It tells you what to do. You click on Continue. Please, the first time through, walk through the features, and then follow the instructions. You can click outside the lab pad to see the lab, on the lab pad to see the next thing, and then click on the corner of your lab pad to raise it, and then try to follow the instructions. And the main other thing I want to point out, which we're getting to now, is there are going to be on the lab pad the home, theory, media, and mission. And these are all clickable links which provide information that you need. In this case, some images, which you won't see yet until you get a little bit further along. Checklist of what you have to do. And the main point is, as you continue and as you work through this and follow the instructions, you can move around in the room. And let's go back here. Oops. Got to keep track of your cursor. And then you'll be given some questions to answer, and if you didn't catch it from following along, the possible answers, you can go to View Theory and it'll tell you Dr. 1 is your lab assistant. And then you go back to Home and click Dr. 1 and continue and continue. And so every time as you go along, if there's anything you miss, go to the theory part, and this will progressively populate as you go through, and it provides information. Sometimes it's stated explicitly as you're going through. Sometimes you actually have to look in here to find the information. But this is going to be my big take-home message as you're working through this, is make sure that you check the theory. That pretty much explains things as you go along. Okay, I am not going to do the whole lab for you. That's part of the fun for you. The first lab shouldn't take you all that long, but it'll take a little longer than, than I could do it, for example, because you have to learn your way through the program. And then just as a note, as you get started, it will tell you things like pick up a lab coat, and you'll notice things are highlighted. And so when you're not sure, you can move around, you try to find something. There's the lab coat, you pick it up. It'll say pick up the safety goggles. I've muted the person who is doing the instructions. Oops, and it's easy to go past these things. But if you kind of look around, you'll see they kind of flicker, and so you can pick up the stuff you need to do, etc. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do at this point. Please go through Module 0, which is just background information, and then please go through Module 1. Try to complete it by this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so I hope that was at least somewhat helpful, and you can get underway with the first lab simulation and the other getting started in the course things reasonably well. If you have questions, please email me or show up at virtual office hours. And don't forget, there's a discussion for you to post and introduce yourself and answer or reply to a couple other students' postings. And since online learning can be kind of isolating, it's good if you can make some connections with other people in the class. It helps your learning. It helps be a little more motivating. And so I encourage you to reach out to each other and see if you can start finding times that maybe you can both be available, or a few people can be available, and work through some of the lab activities and collaborate with each other and help each other learn. So welcome to Chem 11. Hope we have a good semester together. Please let me know if you have any questions.